British colonial rule was one of the key events in shaping modern-day Singapore, leaving lasting impacts that can still be seen today in the multitude of roads and buildings named after founding colonials. Many scholars document the shaping of the colonial city's built environment through the lens of imposing the colonial master's cultural, social, or economical position on subordinate locals. Rarely are its inhabitants and their interactions with the physical space of the colonial city investigated within an everyday setting. This dissertation takes a different approach to existing literature by moving away from the idea that the colonial city is shaped purely by dominant external forces. It delves into the Singaporean dwelling to find an identity within its spatial layout using qualitative analysis coupled with space syntax analysis methods. Tracing the evolution of the vernacular home into the modern, dwellings from three key periods within the Emerald Hill Conservation Area are highlighted. The kampong house of the pre-colonial era, the shop house of the colonial era, and the apartment of the post-colonial era. Believing that a city's built environment is shaped through the collective lived experiences of its people, the approach to analysis within this dissertation will be through the lens of everyday interactions between inhabitants and their physical spaces. Spatial layouts are compared in terms of changes in size, organization, and location of specific room functions. Referencing significant policies of intervention introduced during the colonial period, the sociocultural climate of each key period is used to place the case studies within the context of its wider society. The methodology of first qualitatively analyzing a dwelling, focusing on spatial functions and the occupant's interaction within the space, then reanalyzing it using the space syntax methods, provides a rigor as the space syntax analysis often provided an alternative perspective to the qualitative analysis. This paper seeks to challenge the notion of the colonial identity, highlighting the everyday conflicts of power and influence between the colonist and the colonized. The breaking down of the dwelling into individual space functions aids in understanding how local sociocultural conventions have changed through the ages, and how this is then reflected within the spatial layout of the Singaporean dwelling.